Hello everyone, welcome to Product Impressions. My name is Ryan and today we are going to be taking a look at Acer's Chromebook Spin 15. What we've done is take this computer out of the box and now we're going to start it up for the first time. I'll just lift this up. Nice little protector for the keyboard. And it's starting up automatically. Alright, if you haven't used a Chromebook before, it always starts up in about the same way. You start up, and of course you have the setup. So we're going to see how long this actually takes. Alright. And we're all set up and ready to get started with using a Chromebook. I have used one once before in the past, so this was the background that I'd selected. It's remembering all of this with my account and automatically populating it. They have a nice little tour here if you've never used one of these before. Essentially, it's a lot like any other computer. Down here, instead of on Windows where it would be a start menu, you've just got your recently used apps. You can expand this to see all of the apps that are on the device. Very similar to the start menu, and the only real change is down here. You can see the general stats, what you are connected to, how bright, volume, and your power has been moved over here. Other than that, it works pretty much just like any other computer. You are limited to the apps that are on the Google Play Store, so productivity might be a little bit hindered if you are accustomed to using Word or Excel, but there are some app versions of those programs or others that are available on Android devices, which you can download from the Play Store. First up, we're going to bring up some generic music on YouTube just to see how the speakers sound. It sounds not bad. It is a little bit thin and tinny, but you can't really expect a whole lot from laptop speakers, even if they are put together nicely, you know, in the keyboard through the grills on the sides here. You got speakers on either side, so you do get a nice stereo effect. Alright. I mentioned that you can use different word processing and Excel spreadsheet type software. This is one from Moby Systems that I've used for a while. Let's try this out. First use of the keyboard, I would say that it feels a little bit squishy, doesn't really have any kind of click to it, no real solid feel, but it does seem responsive enough that you would be comfortable typing on this for an extended period. Let's see, the keyboard tray here is metal, so that does feel nice. The touchpad is very similar feeling metal. It also feels very nice to use. I am enjoying it. With the screen, you can see that there are some pretty significant bezels all around the sides. It would be nice if that were a little bit larger, but a little bit smaller on the bezels. If the screen were a little bit larger to take up a little more of the space, but generally speaking, the display does look very nice. Let's see. Otherwise, we can close this down. The top and bottom of this computer are plastic. This is a pretty heavily textured, so it's not going to get a lot of fingerprints. It's going to be slightly grippy if you are carrying this around, but it is definitely not a premium feeling. Let's see. You can also, since this is one of their spin devices, you can flip it all the way around. If you want to use this in a tent setup, you can see everything does function, and then we also do have a usable touchscreen. It looks like this has not really resized automatically, but pinch to zoom works just fine. And if you close it all the way up, you can use this as a massive tablet if you were so inclined. I'm not sure why you would want to do that, but it is possible. all in all, this does seem like a very usable computer. It is quite functional. If you want to use this for regular work and you can log into a virtual machine through Chrome, things like that do seem to function well. All in all, this is a pretty nice device. I'm going to put up a list of the specs for those of you who are interested, but for a Chromebook, one of the main reasons why you use this is kind of the interchangeability of these devices. If you set up this device how you want to use it and you get a different Chromebook in the future, as soon as you log in, it will automatically change everything based on how you set up your first Chromebook. It will carry all the settings over from one device to the next, which is a very nice piece of functionality, and is also something that the data security community tends to like, in that if something is ever compromised on this device, you can simply swap it out for another one and not lose your place on anything, really. For the documents that you are working on, you can use apps like Dropbox. Those will allow for the standard cloud storage, and you can work on it just like you would any other file on a normal computer. Alright, as we've already addressed, this is a 15-inch display. It does have 141 pixels per inch. This is a reasonable resolution for watching videos, though you might not want to be doing a lot of tedious work on spreadsheets. If you do have it at about an arm's length away from you, you're not going to really see a lot of pixelation or anything like that. For storage and RAM, I didn't notice anything laggy at all while I was using the computer. Everything seemed fairly snappy. For the battery, based on my usage and how much it reported draining, it looks like you can watch videos for probably about 8 hours or so before the computer might die on you. Dimensions and weight, I'd probably prefer something smaller and more portable just for my use, but that's personal taste. It does have 4 USB ports, 2 Type-C, 2 Type-A, a micro SD card slot, audio jack, and a lock if you prefer to lock up the computer on a desk. Alright, well, you can use this device for word processing, standard work ideas. I do feel like this is more of a media consumption device. From that perspective, it's unfortunate that the speakers are a little bit tinny sounding and a little hollow, but again, this is a fairly slim laptop, so you can't really expect a whole great deal in that department. If you want to connect a second monitor to it, it does have a second USB Type-C output for a monitor. It also charges on a Type-C, but on the opposite side of the machine. One other unfortunate design decision that was made with this is having the speakers in the keyboard section when you put it into a tent position. That means that the speakers are actually facing away from you. So if you are using this in your home, it would be a good idea to have it kind of up towards a wall so that that sound reflects back towards you. Otherwise, all in all, I would say that this is a pretty nice machine, pretty well-rounded. It's a little large for my taste. I would tend to prefer something that is more of a 11 or 13-inch screen, particularly from a portability standpoint. But all in all, this is a pretty good little device here. If you've enjoyed this video or found it useful, please like and subscribe. And if you are interested in this computer, there is a link in the description box down below. Thank you very much.